Good morning to everyone. In this lecture, EC8691 Microprocessors and Microcontroller, third year CSE, Unit 3, Input and Output Interfacing. First of all, the introduction to memory interfacing. The microprocessor may be seen as the heart of the system, while all the peripheral circuit, including memory system, are built around the microprocessor. Since a processor without memory is not meaningful, the memory may be also considered as an integral part of the microprocessor system. In 8086 is a 16-bit microprocessor having 16 data lines and each memory locations hold only 8 bit of data. It becomes necessary for two memory locations to supply one word of data during each memory access. So the total memory of the 8086 is divided into two memory bank, one having all the even address location called the even bank and having all the odd address locations called as the odd bank. The odd bank and the even bank contain 512 kilo memory locations each, and former is connected to D15 to D8 of data buses, while the D7 to D0. Thus, any memory IC is the memory subsystem has to be a pair and one is each bank. Since addresses would be an alternate two bank, the line of A0 would always lower for even bank and would be a high for add bank. So the one chip select, that is a CS signal in all chips belonging to the even bank is enabled by the complement of A0. Now we see the semiconductor interfacing. Semiconductor memories are of two types. There are RAM and ROM. The semiconductor memories are arranged as a two-dimensional arrays of memory locations. For example, 1 kilobyte into 8 memory chip contains 1024 locations, and each of them is 1 byte word. Therefore, the 1024 byte of information can be stored in the single chip. Now, each location should be have addresses, so they have to certain number of address lines on the memory in the single chip. If a microprocessor has a X address lines and if a RAM and EPROM IC is to be interfaced with as a X greater than or equal to Y, then we connected the Y lines from the microprocessor to those memory chip. Now the remaining of X minus Y lines of a microprocessor are used for a address decoding. So therefore, the main aim of this decoding circuit is to select one location for the address sent from microprocessor. Now, the procedure of memory interfacing. Number one, arranging the available memory chip so that they form a 16-bit data buses and there should be a provision to access the byte as well as word. Connection address lines control signal like a read-write of the microprocessor with those of the memory chip. Remaining address lines along with the A0 and BHE are used for decoding the required chip select signal for odd and even bank. This chip select of the memory is derived from the output of decoding circuits. Now we see the interfacing input and output port. The input and output interfacing, the input and output is needed to transfer the data between the external circuit to the microprocessor and microcontroller to the external circuit. The input device or give the information to the processor and output devices or display information from the microprocessor. The input and output data transfer is controlled by the read and write and input output memory signals. So the input and output devices can be interfaced to 8086 into two methods. Number one, memory mapped input and output method. Number 2, input and output mapped input and output. In the input devices, there are number 1 keyboard, thumb wheel switches, DIP switches, and then similarly the output devices are LED or LCD. So the difference between the memory mapped and input output mapped, in memory mapped input output is a 20 address lines, and input output mapped input output is a 16 address lines. Now the interfacing input port, the input output devices, there are the following the step and the input to general instructions to the CPU. We see the steps in interfacing an input output device. The following steps are performed to be interfacing the input and output device in the 8086 microprocessor.